Yo, YouTube, what's good? It's your boy Young Black. I'm gonna make a video right now for E3. I've seen a lot of good stuff on E3. I decided to make this video right now while everybody in my house is asleep, so I could concentrate and really get through the video. Um, I don't know if you guys could tell or not. I'm feeling a lot better, a little bit. Thanks for all your prayers and everything going out to you, boy. You already know. But not 100% yet, but I'm getting there. We're gonna be moving soon. Your boy gonna be moving up. I'm about to rent out a house and shit. You know what I mean? I'm tired of the city, the suburbs, New York. I can't really. I mean, I'm still gonna be in New York, but we're gonna be I think it's upstate New York. Is Schenectady upstate? Upstate? I don't even know no more. But whatever. We're going to Schenectady. That's where your boy's gonna be at in a minute. So look out for new YouTube videos soon coming from there. You're gonna be seeing a different background in these New York apartments. I'm done with this shit. I'm about to get out of here and just rent a house in New York. I mean, in Schenectady, upstate New York. Things are a lot cheaper there. But anyway, what everybody wants to hear. Now, I mean, this is probably one of the craziest things I've seen this side of E3 in a long time, or this side of just system announcements in a long time. I mean, I just had to get my 2 cents out here. I mean, I don't give a fuck that my camera ain't all that good, none of that shit. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to get my 2 cents out here for all the people who watch my videos, listen to your boy Young Black. This is for y'all, and this is just probably the craziest E3 a system battle start off that I ever seen. I mean, first of all, Nintendo is just non-existent. Okay, I mean they had games that came out. They showed a couple of things that I seen. There's a new Smash Brothers Melee is on its way, which is like, yeah, that's cool. But when to me, when you don't even hold the press conference that we all can see, you kind of downplay your product to everybody. Nintendo's taking a stand to me where it's like they don't even care to show us. It's just like buy our shit. You know what we about already. We're not gonna um we're not going to separate ourselves and do what these other two console companies is doing, which I can respect from Nintendo that they sticking towards what their guns are, their true, what their true fans is about. That's kind of where Sony and Microsoft, well, Microsoft is going wrong now, but Sony went wrong in that affair. People say for the PS3 because last generation there wasn't a lot of JRPGs and things of that sort, which was on the PS2 and the PS1. Um, so it seems like Sony is getting back to their basics. Now, Xbox, I already did a little video for Xbox. I'm still horribly disappointed in them. They want our money to like the 10th extent. I thought maybe by E3 they would have did a recant on their announcement talking about uh, you don't have to worry about the online, or there's some little loophole or something that works where the online doesn't have to worry about your system. Your system doesn't have to check in every 25 or 24 hours, whatever the fuck it is, for you to play a game straight through. But comes to find out, yeah, you do. You have to have your system online for 24 hours. Well, the system has to check into the internet every 24 hours for it to function correctly. If you're somewhere where there is no internet, your system will lock you out of it for or after an hour of gameplay or an hour of you doing whatever on it. That's what um my analysis is of it. You gotta forgive me. It's like it's 3:19 in the morning right now. Your boy is up watching old throwback episodes of Seinfeld. Having a couple drinks, relaxing while everybody's asleep and relaxing. Just trying to enjoy some TV. And I just decided to make a YouTube video right now. It might not be too organized or whatever, but I'm gonna try to pour my thoughts out onto you guys the best I can. Uh, I'm disappointed in Microsoft. I mean, their next system makes the 360 look like it was an accomplishment, and to me, that's a step backwards. I mean, after all the shit I talked about after the PS3 versus the Xbox, I'm like, damn, the Xbox looks like it's a saving grace to me. I mean, the Xbox is like forget about it. It's like 1,000 times better than the Xbox One is to me. I mean, not power wise and ability wise, but just the the way the games and the system functions is more comprehensible. It's more approachable than it is on the Xbox One. I mean, who wants to buy a system that's going to lock you out of the products that you're paying for? You're going to buy games at the store, and they're restricting you on multiple ways for you to enjoy the product that you're paying your full earned, the full price, $60 for a game, and I can't bring it to a friend's house and show him like, watch how cool this shit is, yo, or you know, I can't bring my whole system to his house and watch it. Like they're even restricting everything. I mean, it's totally fucking uncalled for and ridiculous, and it's an embarrassment, and it's an insult to gamers to think that they could do this shit and get away with it. Okay, we spend too much money, and then on top of that, their system is $100 more than the PlayStation 4 is. The Xbox One is $499, right? Okay, and the fucking the Xbox One is right is $500, $499, right, right, and then the PS4 is $399. When I heard that, I was like, oh my god, like it was just crazy when Sony finally came out and just dropped all the you know the other side of the fucking eggshells for us and just said this is the other side of what we're offering you guys. Microsoft and Sony decided to split up all the information about the systems into two press conferences. Microsoft should have just told us all of that shit in the beginning, because when they showed us all these games that they were promising us, none of them shits looked like it was anything that we expected it to be. I mean, a lot of them were just third-party titles and shit that we expected. I expected a new Forza. I expected a new Call of Duty. Then they put Metal Gear Solid 4 in there, like they were going to be the only ones to have it. PlayStation will also have Metal Gear Solid 4, even though Konami showed Metal Gear Solid 4 during the Xbox press conference running on the Xbox One, which was fine. But that same game will also be on the PlayStation 4. I don't know if Microsoft's going to have some type of what do you call it? Some early DLC little deals that they fucking do, like we really care about that as gamers. But I think nowadays you're really starting to notice how insignificant that type of shit is, and how Microsoft has sucked us into these deals where the game comes out first on the Xbox and we get all this extra DLC first on the Xbox. People are starting to notice it now. Back when the Xbox 360 was out and it was no PS4 and it was just Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, everybody was loving that shit. Oh, I can get so this and that and the third, and we get this extra DLC here, and it doesn't come out for a month on the PS. I mean, now you're starting to notice how that they're like dangling carrots in front of you guys on the Xbox side. I mean, I'm a Sony fanboy. I mean, but not like a diehard, slobbering at the mouth. I'm gonna argue with you all day fanboy. But Sony is the shit, and I've been saying that from the beginning. If you watch my videos, and this just proves it. I mean, I love the PS3, but they did take a little bit of a step backwards compared to what the PS1 and the PS2 was about. It was more about hardcore gaming in a classic form that they brought to us and made classic Sony. The JRPGs, the original IP type of games, like how Metal Gear was like, an original IP game was on PlayStation 1. They just had this development process that was going on that was very unique to the system, and it was more not I don't want to say user friendly, but it was more classic. The new generation, the PS3 came out, and they took a risk. They tried to go for more of an aesthetic vibe by adding a processing system that was so powerful that not the consumers, developers were having a harder time developing games for the PS3. It didn't really hurt it that much because most of the big games that came out were on the PS3, during this generation of consoles. To me, anyway. I mean, all the big games. I don't want to say Shadow of the Colossus and all those games. Those are PS2 games, but the God of War games aesthetically look better than anything I ever seen on the 360. Even though the 360 has good games too, but the PS3 just had better aesthetics. The graphics and the fidelity, the way the games looked, were 1,000 times better. Okay, it got so bad that Microsoft started taking advantage of making their games look a little better because their system runs what I always said, DirectX. The Xbox 360 has DirectX as one of its main processing attributes. So certain games, mostly first-person shooters, mostly use DirectX, which the Xbox doesn't have. So like when you buy Skyrim, when it first came out for the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox, it just functioned better on the Xbox 360 because of the DirectX. Now, is that Microsoft making the developers put that in play so that the games run better? I think it was, now that I'm paying more attention. They didn't have to do that. I mean, DirectX is something that is used in a lot of PC games. It's not really a console thing. It's a PC type of a thing. And they incorporated that into the 360 just so that you can get, an extra little, a little push on the PC games that were ported over to the consoles, like your Metros and your Oblivion, the Elder Scrolls games, Skyrim, Oblivion, um, just certain games. So they gave themselves a little edge. I think Microsoft paid those developers a little more to get that, for those certain huge games. Like Skyrim is a huge game. It has a huge following even right now. The mod community for Skyrim is like ridiculously popular. People still play Skyrim like it's brand new right now, especially on the PC because you can use these crazy mods. I mean, there's probably a way to do it on the 362, but I just really don't care to do that. Skyrim is so ill by itself. I don't need any mods and anything like that. But I was really impressed with Microsoft in certain facets of what they were trying to do. Like after I calmed down and stopped having nerd rage and seen what the Xbox One actually did, even though it locks you out and you have to have internet. But if you have to have internet to use those main features that the system does, the television, the live television, the internet, the snap features, like they built the whole system around you having internet. So I mean, if you don't have internet, what they're trying to do just won't work. Now, as a consumer, I just think it's fucked up that they're building it around something that I might not have out of the box. That's just not fair. When you're making a product, you shouldn't have to buy the product that you're selling me and then say I have to buy X to go with it or it's not going to work. So I get home and I live in that fucking Afghanistan, some goddamn where, in a sand buggy with one TV and a power generator. I hook up my Xbox One and I can't do shit because I don't have any internet. I mean, that's just bullshit. I mean, they're going to sell less consoles because of that, just because. Um, I mean, it was so bad with certain things that I was just like, oh my god, that's just horrible. But I do like the ability to switch between the TV and the game and the internet. All that type of stuff is really fucking cool. But how much of that shit am I really going to use? Like, I did a demonstration, well, for myself. Like, my father, he doesn't play games, but he's into technology. Like, anything that's new, like, television-wise or, media-wise for TV and movies, that type of stuff, he's into it for in your living room type of stuff. He's into it. Okay, so I showed him the Xbox One, and immediately he was impressed with it. So I see the market that they're going for. They're going for the market of the people who, they're into their TV. They're really into the TV shows, the dramas, um, communicating with their friends back and forth about the TV shows that they're watching, um, interacting with each other during sports. Like I can see people watching a basketball game together and they're on each other's friends lists or whatever, and Microsoft has some way you can compete to wager which team wins or not, and you get some type of points on your gamer scorecard because you're watching live TV and you could bet which team wins or not, and you get some type of point. Just little things like that they're trying to say is interactive, which is cool features. But at the end of the day, for somebody like me who doesn't really watch that much TV, which a lot of gamers don't, a lot of gamers, we know what we want, we know what we're looking for. We don't have to sit here and browse through television just to be, entertained. We know what we like. So if we're not playing games, we're watching an anime series or a TV series or a movie that relates to the game that we're playing. Like if we're playing Mass Effect, we might pop in Prometheus or something. That's just how gamers are. We're more into our own likes and controlling our media more than these fucking people out here who just, I'm gonna sit down and just see what's on TV. Real gamers, we won't be satisfied with that because we're beyond that. The media that we use, like fucking not like, but video games in general. The media that we use is we're so much able to control it, especially with stuff like Mass Effect and what's another one? Deus Ex is interactive also, but people didn't receive that game that well. Um, what was it, Dragon Age, games where you could make decisions that'll actually, change the way the game plays. Those games are substituting what the TV shows do, and they're long, drawn out, dramatic experiences where you don't have to wait for next week, all this shit to play. I understand where Microsoft is trying to go, but it's not for us. It's not for the guys who bought PS2s and PS1s or regular Xbox or regular Xbox 360. It's for these people who are in college, you know what I mean, who go upstate or wherever the fuck they go to school at away, and they buy one of these things and they can control their television and tweet with their friends and all of this. It's not for us as modern gaming consumers, And during the PS4 press conference, I was sitting there like I couldn't believe like they really just took a straight out jab at Microsoft. Like there was a part where they was like, we don't restrict um, we don't restrict used games at all. We support the used game market. That was just like one of their logos. It was on the screen with like a stack of games, like a used game shelf, and next to it it says we support used games. Boom, like just flat out, just punch Microsoft in the face. And there will be no online requirements for your system to register for you to use the console. Just stuff that it was just so flat out a punch in the face to Microsoft. I was just like, this is ridiculous. Like, I don't understand how Microsoft thinks this is okay for them to basically turn what we know as console gaming and just turn it upside down like that and think that they're not going to get a backlash. Now, does that mean they're not going to? They're going to sell consoles. I mean, Microsoft is going to sell consoles because there's going to be people out there that are so comfortable with Xbox, Microsoft as a console, a game provider for them that they're going to go with that no matter what. Especially people who have money. They don't have to worry about it every fucking month. You know, they're paying for years at a time on their Xbox. Oh, I just pay for a year off of Xbox Live. Ha 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 ha. I'll just pay my internet off for a year. Ha ha ha. But that's not normal people shit. You know, and to me, the fact that Microsoft is not thinking that way is what is discriminatory to the consumer. You know, they should be thinking about everyone. They should want a 10-year-old with two mismatched flip flops to walk into his GameStop in motherfucking Midland, China, Japan somewhere where it's just sticks. And if he can find a system and order it, but he has a power generator and a TV, he should, like I said before, he should just want to plug that shit in and go. They should be marketing towards everybody. I think they're broadening this. I mean, they're shrinking their audience with what they're doing, and at the end of the day, they're gonna pay for it. Not so much as Nintendo maybe, because Nintendo is basically sacrificing their console due to their ethics. They're not gonna do what Microsoft and Sony is doing. They're sticking with what they know best. They're not gonna conclude to what these modern consoles, as they consider it to be, are doing. They're their own entity. You know, even though that they're suffering money wise to be their own entity, they are their own entity, and I gotta respect that they still make awesome games. They might not be the games that we want to play, but they're still awesome games. You know what I mean? The games that they showed us at E3 from Microsoft, I just wasn't that impressed with. Besides Killer Instinct, I mean that jumped out of nowhere, and I was like, oh my god, they're remaking Killer Instinct, even though it looks like a downloadable game. It doesn't look like we're gonna go in the store and get it, especially because of the simple fact that when they showed it, it came across the screen like right after a trailer, and then the trailer for Killer Instinct was like a minute long, and it went off. It's like Killer Instinct, combo, show a couple characters fighting, boom, that was it. Next trailer. It just seemed rushed. You know, the launch games for the Xbox One, a lot of them they don't really appeal. A lot of them they're not even exclusive games. Like Sony has some real exclusive, like Knack. I plan on getting Knack just because it looks kind of cool, and it's something for me to play with my son, or for my son to play on day one. You know, so Knack is copped. Um, Watch Dogs looks really good, even though it's going to be on multiple systems. It looks like that the people who make Watch Dogs are going more towards the Sony side of things because they actually showed their game during the Sony press conference, not during the E3 press conference, which Metal Gear should have did too. But I think Metal Gear has had so much of a run on PlayStation for so long. Now they're just trying to give the Xbox guys, you know, it's their turn to start having, you know, a Metal Gear that runs on their system, on our system, and they're showing it for this Xbox, you know, because Metal Gear's never been there before. You know, so it's like Konami is trying to give them a chance. You know, let's milk this Xbox side for a little while. We'll see. Watch, I guarantee you, they're gonna really uproot themselves. I think, you know, once they really see how the system is really gonna work and out the backlash when it comes out. I mean, people are gonna pre-order it. Pre-order, you can go pre-order systems right now. You can go pre-order the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 right now. I plan on pre-ordering a PS4 in the next couple of weeks. So I'm just gonna fully pay for it. I mean, I'm not even gonna wait. I know a lot of people said they stacked their money up and they're ready to go, this, that, and the third. But we'll see. You know, I'm gonna pay for mine in the next couple of weeks. Let some more information come out. Gather me some more money together because I'm a real person. I'm not this person who just say, "Here's my money," and I don't. It doesn't matter to me. It matters to me. I got other shit to deal with. I can afford to put the money there, but I just don't want to put all my money in one place and then have to have something fuck up. You know, so I'm gonna, you know, take my time, but I am getting one. First day I will have one. I will have a PS4 and an Xbox One on day one. You know, so I got time to get it together, more than enough time. So yeah, that'll be most definitely happening. Uh, I don't know what else to say to you guys. If it was up to me, I would really just say go buy a PlayStation 4. To me, that's the system to have. They're looking out for our interests as gamers. Um, just the stuff that they said in their press conference, like they believe in, because the consumer ownership of digital and physical products, meaning that when you buy a game, it's yours. I can take my game and lend it to a friend, and my friend can lend me a game, or I can go trade it in without having any stupid backlash because of how the game works on my console that's been structured funny by the people who make my accounts. All this bullshit that Microsoft has put in place. You know, the PS4 has just jumped out ahead to the point where it's like I don't even know what Microsoft is thinking. Like this is just like you're hanging yourself and you don't care. They're taking such a huge risk doing what they're doing because they're trying to take people like me, which most of my gaming friends are like me. We grew up in the 90s with PlayStation 1 and play. We don't want you to try to tell us to watch TV, Microsoft, and tell us that we should be talking to our system and do. I know it sounds futuristic, but for us as gamers, we come to our machines for one thing, to play games. So when you try to distract us with all this lights and clockwork, with all these gimmicks, talking to my Connect and all of this type of bullshit, we understand that it's just a gimmick. It's not for real. It's stuff that we don't really want. I'm looking behind me because my wife is sleeping and I don't want to wake her up right now. But they're gimmicks. They're not real things that are gonna affect us gameplay wise. I mean, if I maybe for that like how that Defiance game was like a game and a TV show for Defiance. Maybe I could watch the TV show and play the game at the same time and interact with the show through the game. Something. Maybe something like that might be cool, but who knows? That's like here nor there. I don't know. I mean, that doesn't even sound like something that they can get to work correctly. There's probably a million different variables or reasons why that shit wouldn't work either. So who the fuck knows anymore? You just gotta go with what your gut thinks. To me, it feels like PS4. The games are gonna be there. You know, um, the games they showed for Xbox One. I mean, some of them was just fucking flat out silly. Like how they showed the trailer for a new Xbox, not Xbox, for a new Halo. Oh my God, what the fuck was that? That wasn't even a trailer. It was Chief in a goddamn poncho, okay? And he's like in a poncho, and you can't see who he is. And he's like holding up a dog tag or something, and he has like a hood on. And when he puts the hood, he has the hood on. You see his hand with the thing. You see, oh, that's Chief. You can see by the Spartan is a glove. It's like a metal green glove. So that's Chief. And I'm like, why is he wearing a poncho? What is this guy fucking blocking? He's wearing fucking fluorescent green armor with a visor on it. Nothing is touching him anyway. What is this poncho, this thing disguising him from or helping him to not be fucked up from? That armor will fucking withstand plasma fire. So it's like, what was the point of him being in that? It's just little things that Microsoft is doing to try to get us in. It's like they're all gimmicks. Take Chief out the goddamn robe and just show us Chief and let him do something cool and say, my Halo 5, something. Like, what the fuck was that about? That was just stupid to me to present Halo to me like that. And I'm a Halo guy. And this new Xbox is so fucked up, so bad, that I was willing to say, I'm done with Xbox. I don't even want to play. Even though I love Halo, I refuse to buy this system, okay, to be manipulated to play a game that I love so much. But I refuse to play it on this console. I was willing to just give up Halo, and I still am. But my girl wants an Xbox. She wants an Xbox One. She likes the little features and the gimmicky things, and that's okay, because she doesn't play games. She just wants to be able to control her media in front of her without having to go through, little things, making it easier for her. And I can understand that for a person like that, okay, the Xbox One makes sense to just maybe a casual consumer. They're kind of trying to do what Nintendo did. How Nintendo went for the casual consumer with the Wii U by making the gameplay aesthetic of the system something that anybody can get. Motion controls, okay? Anybody can get that. Now, we all watch TV. Microsoft's trying to do the same thing, just on a different platform, a different level. They're just trying to control your TV and your media from a place. Even though they showed them watching a movie on the Xbox One, but that Star Trek movie was probably a downloaded movie. I mean, you're probably not going to be able to do some of that stuff without paying for it through Xbox Live. That Star Trek movie was probably downloaded and paid for and stored on the hard drive. Who knows if you could put a Blu-ray in there and still do all that snap feature shit while your Blu-ray movie is running in the background, and you could pause the movie, go on and say live TV with your movie still run. Who knows all these little features? Who knows all these little quirks and quirks? Nobody knows. Okay, so to me it's like, go with what you feel like, because we really don't know. And Sony's putting everything on the table. You know, I was amazed with Sony when they had all the indie games, all the guys that's gonna be partnering with them for all the indie games came on stage, and not only did they didn't bring them on stage one by one, they brought them on stage one by one, but together. Like they would say, this company is making this game, and hey, there he is over there, and he's standing in front of the TV playing the game that they're making. Then another guy would come out and they would do the same thing. Another guy would come out and they would do the same thing, to the point that the camera would just pan across the stage, and you would just see all these indie games and these guys standing in front of all these cool indie games that you would want to play. Now to me that's the right direction for Sony, because not only are they gonna support us game wise through third party support, first party support, they also have the indie guys on the line. And if you guys been noticing, some of these indie games are starting to look really fucking good, especially since the technology is getting up there now. Some of these indie games are looking like they could be worth $60, and you could play them for like $14.99. And some of them are even free to play. So to me, that's an investment in the future gaming community. Microsoft didn't take that way. They decided to go with media, and to me, I think they're going to hang themselves. I hear a lot of people talking about, oh, um, what if Xbox servers shut down and there is no internet or nothing for your games? How are you going to play your Xbox One? Oh, trust me, Microsoft has something for that. These motherfuckers are so slick and so full of themselves. They'll release another version of the Xbox One that doesn't require internet and still think that they're okay and think people will go in the store and buy another version of their system. They're that fucking cocky. Trust me, okay? If you've been paying attention to my videos and listening to what I've been saying about Microsoft since day one, even though I own all the systems, I will continue to own all systems. Because I feel like, not that that's my job, but that's just my passion as a gamer, to play and to not talk shit unless I've actually, got my hands on these things. Right now I'm going off of what I've been presented with media-wise, and I won't say nothing else, physical about the systems until I get them in my hands. But I always give them a fair shake. I always try to give them a fair shake. And I just really think Microsoft is hanging themselves. The controller for the Xbox One, it looks okay. It's still going to be shit for fighting games, I got a feeling. And I'm mad about that. I mean, they changed the directional pad. The D-pad does look like it's slightly better, but it's still fangled and still, I don't know if it's going to be comfortable to play a Street Fighter game or just a 3D, 2D fighting game in general. Which, again, I don't know. They're just missing the whole point with certain little things. They listened to us and they brought Killer Instinct back. Woohoo, thank you for that. Okay, but they missed the whole fucking ballpark on the aesthetics of what their council should have been about. It should have been about games. I hear a lot of people also talking about, like, I was talking to my brother. He lives in Schenectady. I'm going to be moving up there close to him soon, which I was talking about earlier. And he was saying, how much better can these games actually get? Some of these games look so good. How much better can we get? I was explaining to him that maybe we might not get too much better aesthetically, like, the way the games graphically look. They might slightly get better with, graphical effects like smoke and shadowing and, deep rendering. Stuff like that will go up, just because the systems are getting more powerful, so that right there will go up. But you're not going to see too much difference in the way games play. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a Grand Theft Auto that's the size of Skyrim, or something like that. We want to see games become more broad with this new aesthetic, graphical capacity, and technology. We want huge games. We don't want to. We want to feel the least amount of boxed in these products as possible. We want all the features, everything, stuff that developers might have dreamt about and want to put in games. And we feel like we're there, but I think maybe 4 years down the line, when these new systems, we'll really get to see what they're about. I think people saying next year. I think next year is too soon. I think they're gonna put a path in place for Microsoft and Xbox, and Microsoft and Sony, and you'll get to see where they're steering towards next year. But I don't think we're gonna really see gameplay wise that much out of these games by next year. They still need some more time to open up the gates on these systems, as I say, like my nigga what's his name, Rock Lee from Naruto, the gates. So they're gonna need more time to open up some more information on these systems and how they work with the debugs through the developers and whatnot. So we're gonna get there, and it's gonna be amazing to watch. Real gamers stand up. E3 was awesome. I wasn't disappointed with Microsoft. I wasn't disappointed with Sony either. I just wish Microsoft, the games that they came with were good. I just wish that they weren't gonna be locked up by internet fucking compatibility and all this bullshit that they were showing. That would have just opened their system off. Or if the system worked with all this shit with internet, and then if you didn't, I wouldn't even matter if, you know what I mean? It wouldn't even matter to me if, okay, I can switch and do all this shit with my Connect, but if I don't have internet, I can't do none of it. Okay, that wouldn't even bother me. As long as I can put my games in and play and enjoy these new games that come out every month, that's fine. But you're gonna lock me into internet so I can watch fucking TV through your console and all this shit. I mean, that right there is a betrayal to gamers. Don't let me pay for your system and I can't do shit with it without fucking internet. That's just not cool. Real gamers stand up. Keep watching E3. Um, if you can, go pre-order your PS4s now if you guys can. I mean, it's a little early to me anyway, but by next month I'm gonna try to have mine paid for too. If God willing everything goes according to plan, I'm gonna be moving, paying for that, setting up my new apartment and house and whatnot. But real gamers stand up. Let me know what you guys thought about E3. Um, in the fucking Microsoft conspiracy of getting all our money out of our pockets for every little thing they can for gaming. Uh, Even though their product still is good, but I don't know. It's up to you guys though. Real gamers stand up. It's your boy Young Black. Leave some comments, like my video, all that good stuff.